the little bit of time I played VR on your headset and stuff, and I've not met or heard one person that's a tool.
Mm-hmm.
Not one.
Well,
usually on Xbox, is a quarter of your team or the lobby, whatever you're in, are total tools. VR, like just the other day when we were playing Breacher and that kid started talking, and you wouldn't be quiet. The other guy came on and was like, "Hey, buddy, can you be quiet for a little bit?" And then they became friends and started giving out each other call outs.
That's the crazy thing, is that even if you are being like such a in that game, you still give people call outs.
Yeah.
Even if you're so annoying and ridiculous and not helpful, for most of the game, you're still going to be like, there's a guy on your right.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
You
that's
just
so
have to.
weird. Like, yeah, it's just built in.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't heard anybody that's a tool or a jerk, whatever, on VR yet.
They're there.
Oh, I'm sure.
They're definitely there.
Yeah.
But it's not as prevalent, I guess, when in VR where you have to be actually invested fully in the game because you have nothing else to look at.
Right.
I think it's easy on Xbox where you can just be like, through your phone, and then you just tune in every once in a while, like, everybody in this chat.
Yeah.
And you just lean back and you're like, you hear them.
You stop caring.
Hear them in the background yelling crazy.
Not even at you, just at other people. You just started it. Mm-hmm. Do you think there's a maturity difference on the Xbox and PlayStation compared to VR? And maybe PC? Because the PC and VR are so expensive, you practically have to have an adult job to buy that
I don't
stuff.
actually agree with that. I think, well, the PlayStation is more expensive than the VR nowadays.
Is it?
Mm-hmm. Like if you're going to get a PS5 at least, that costs a lot more than the Quest 2.
Really?
Yeah. The Oculus Quest 2 is... well, I know for a fact you can get it for like $150 on Facebook Marketplace.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's because I've bought so many of them at that price point on Facebook Marketplace.
At Best Buy and stuff now, they're like $300, $400.
Yeah. I mean, don't go to
PS5 is
Best Buy.
still steady $500. And Best Buy is going to be expensive to start with.
Never go to Best Buy. Don't trust Best Buy. You can get, like, you can probably get a PS5 for, like, if you're getting a cheap PS5, it's still the same as, like, a brand new Oculus Quest. So, like,
Yeah.
I mean, probably go for the Oculus Quest most of the time. Not the thing about it is, though, there's not that many people who are interested in it. It's like it's a weirdly small market. You'd think that'd be really popular.
Yeah, because I always remember as a kid, just like, oh man, can you imagine when these things finally come out? They're going to be right up in your face. It's a new thing.
Mm-hmm.
Screw Xbox. Screw the PlayStation. This isn't even a console. The console is on your face. You know what I mean?
So cool.
And then it finally came out, and nothing really happened.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like a big deal as everybody thought it would be.
I think about it every now and then, and I'm like, maybe how much of a bitch I mean, it's not that crazy, but it's such a to hook up your PlayStation because you go and you gotta plug the cords in the back of the PlayStation, plug it into the wall, plug it into the TV,
Yeah.
connect your thing, turn it on, wait for it to load up,
Yep. It was like
Log in.
5,000 steps.
do all that.
And you got to put your account in, and then you need the email and password, and then you need the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, you need the Wi-Fi. On the VR, you just literally go crack it on your head, making sure it's nice and stable, turn that boy on, and you're like already in. That's kind of the game.
Yeah.
And there's just something also to immersion in that, because like you can't not be paying attention. There's nothing else to look at.
Yeah. It's all right there.
Like you can, if you're watching a movie and you just get on your phone, you're like, I don't really give a about this movie anymore. You start looking at something else.
Yeah.
But even if you're not fully invested in your game, you're still like you're invested in the world that is that game in VR. I mean, because like you'll be like, I don't feel like killing people, so you just walk around and you're like, what do we got here?
Yeah.
What a nice painting on the wall.
See what's going on.
Mm-hmm. And that's something that's really interesting because it can put you into a whole different world.
Yeah, I really thought VR would still be really just going off, but it's almost just like there's PlayStation, Xbox, the top tiers, and it's probably Nintendo, maybe second, and then there's like I don't know, PC's probably up there too, maybe the consoles, but VR is still kind of it's down there on the totem pole. But why though?
Let's look this up.
Like it's pretty.
That's how
pretty amazing the things that you can do on VR. Everyone's always like, "Oh, can't wait to do this." When we were kids, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, you just showed me a vest that when you get shot, the vest vibrates.
It's really cool.
Why is that not a cool thing that's like people are like raving about?
I always wonder about. Is my thing gonna turn back on? Excuse me. I just think about how you can literally be a wizard in VR.
Mm-hmm.
Like blade and sorcery. Are you kidding me? That is exactly what I wanted when I was a kid. I was like, I want to be able to fight people and be a wizard and cast spells.
Do all this stuff.
And do whatever I want. That exists now. You can do that.
There's people that play Skyrim in VR and stuff.
Yeah, you can play Skyrim. You can do that entire. You can play all of Skyrim. You can literally play the entire game.
And that game itself on a Xbox controller is already so. You're so already in depth with the whole thing, and it's just on the TV. Here, you are the Dragonborn guy. You know what I mean? You're walking around like him, and people still don't really pick up on it.
It's interesting how uninterested people are.
Yeah, it really is. I want when this rehooks up, you should see sales difference.
See what?
The sales difference between consoles and VR.
Is
that what you're looking up?
I'm gonna pull it up. Okay, so sales. Okay, let's look up gaming system sales.
Wow, this looks really good on the stream too.
List of best-selling games consoles. What?
It looks really good.
That's wonderful.
When you get it, can you hand me a power bank?
You need a power bank?
Yeah, it's not charging.
Oh, you need.
I need the ultimate power of banks.
One of my 20 power banks.
I still can't believe you have all these. That one looks like a phone.
You don't even need to. That one you don't even need to plug in. It's got the
wireless charging.
Yeah. I know.
No way.
We're living in the future right now. It's something beautiful. It's really cool. Oh my God, it works.
It was just on there.
Oh well, this isn't exactly what I was looking for, but this is kind of interesting. Look at that. The PlayStation 2 is the best selling game console ever.
Yeah, I can see that.
That's crazy, though.
I had a PlayStation 2 for a while.
I never had a PlayStation 2. I had a Game Boy.
Yep.
And
I remember a Game Boy.
Actually, I might have the Game Boy. No, I had the just normal Game Boy, I guess.
What's the color one?
I think that's the one. No. Well, these.
I had the OG Game Boy.
Mine would flip open. I think it was a Game Boy Advance, but it wasn't this shape.
Oh, I know the one you're talking about.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It looked like a DS, but
it's the Game Boy Advance, but it has something else like SD after that or something.
That might be right.
It has something after that.
Yeah, I think you might be right. I don't know if they would put that as a separate game system though.
Game Boys, there were so many that came out.
Look, Oculus Quest is so low.
Oh my, it's all the way down there.
This is Oculus Quest 1 though, so this might not be.
Did
Oculus
you see the
Quest
2?
Let's take a look. It's probably not. It might not even be on the list. Oh, Quest 2, there it is. So that's above the Xbox Series X.
Wow.
Is that the newest one?
Yeah, that's the newest one. Series X and S. That's the newest.
PlayStation 5 is pretty far above the Quest 2. but nowhere near PlayStation 4 or the Wii or the 360.
Wow, you really can't beat the 2000 to 2015 era of consoles.
That's
right
the
here.
good.
In the top tier.
Look at this, 2013 PlayStation 4. I can't believe PlayStation 2 is the #1 best selling in 2000.
When the OG Xbox come out?
Well, the original Xbox.
Yeah, I
Do
think
you see it? Or Xbox.
that came out 2000,
That's
2001.
above Quest 2. That's just above Quest 2.
2001.
So Quest 2 is sitting around about 20 million, probably a little more than that. Now I don't know how recently this was updated, but I would just imagine
That would be within maybe the year.
Yeah.
Within a year, maybe.
But it's really interesting to see how it kind of really varies on the year that the most popular consoles were sold. Like, look, PlayStation 2 is in 2000, and then 3 down, and the Nintendo Switch 2017. And then it was 1989 was another really popular one, 2013. Like, it's been pretty much like all the most popular ones are just different years.
Mm-hmm. We got to think because it's also new technology at a weird time. Now you look at the Xbox Series S and X and the PS5, it is not too much of a difference. When you go back to the early 90s, early 2000s, or late 90s, early 2000s, and there's nothing but new technology coming out. You got the Game Boy that just came out. That's a handheld console you can play wherever you want.
That's
and
really
then you
cool.
got the OG, let's just say the OG PlayStation came out.
Is the Game Boy the first thing to do that? Is it 32 handheld game console?
It had to be.
I don't know. I mean, there might be something else above here.
I think we got another visitor.
Sounds that no, I think they went back up.
I like how they do that. They just open the door and shut it. It's only
So
your
what was
house.
that? What was that?
What? Quest 2.
Why is Quest 2 at the top? About 20 million sold? What does that mean? Why is this at the top now? Well, that doesn't make sense. There's other stuff above it. I think
And why such a big...
something's out of order here. All right, well, point is, look at how many... I'm really impressed that the 3DS is up here in 75 million.
The 3DS was crazy, though.
I loved the 3DS.
3DS was a big deal when that came out.
I have no idea where mine went. I'm so sad about it. I think I must have given it away to somebody because I was like, I don't really need it. I don't play it that much. I never did play it that much, but
It was cool, though.
the novelty of having it,
Yeah.
just being like, look, watch this 3D.
Yeah. And it was just so wild.
I still don't understand how it worked. I feel like I looked this up. I looked up how it worked, and I still don't comprehend it.
Then the 3DS was groundbreaking in itself, I feel like.
The 3DS was, I mean, that's really impressive to be able to... A handheld thing that you could look at, and it was always 3D if you wanted it to be.
Yeah.
And then you could turn it off, too. That's such a nice feature, too. You don't even think about that. You don't think about how great it is.
To turn that
like,
off.
if you get sick of it, you can just be like, I'll play normal.
Yeah,
game.
because you can probably... There's people out there who probably wanted it, got it, and then got sick because it was... hurt their eyes or their eyes couldn't comprehend what the heck they were looking at.
Yeah. You don't even think about that. That's exactly the kind of thing you'd be like, they don't need that. You know, like, they're always going to want to play in 3D.
Yeah.
It's like, that would, if they hadn't included that, I bet
Oh, the sales would have gone down.
nobody would have wanted it. They would have been like, I can't play this. This is terrible.
Too many people would have been like, it makes me sick. It's so gross.
You know what's really funny is the handheld consoles never have any performance issues.
Mm-mm. But is it because people don't judge them because they're just handheld? They know what they're getting?
No, I mean, like, you never are playing a 3DS game
Yeah.
and then it won't load. Like,
oh, I see what you mean. Yeah.
but in, you're playing your PlayStation, sometimes you get the blue screen of death
Yep.
or
The
whatever.
or the game gets scratches up.
Mm-hmm. Why are some of these?
I feel like I can. I really feel like I can go up in the attic, find the oldest DS game I have ever had, put it into a DS, and it still work fine.
Yeah, I trust those things with my life.
And it's an SD card. That's really what it is.
I'm really
And you can
confused
take
about-
that anywhere you want.
You can take that to the.
I mean, you can take that card wherever you want, bust it up, take a hammer to it, and it will still
It'll
playing
walk
the
it off.
DS.
It's
That
a
was
powerful
wild.
device. Let's check out Twitch. Whoa.
Black screen of
The
death.
moment I get the black screen. Ugh. Nothing going on here. Nothing going on.
Nothing. Just chilling.
It's kind of funny. I can see myself up there. Who's this guy?
Free loot.
Okay, so here I am looking at myself. Here I am looking at myself, looking at myself, looking at myself, looking at myself. You can see it loading in the distance there. It's going to switch over to you.
That's epic.
It has no right to be as entertaining as it is. Okay.
The Dreamcast. What's a Dreamcast? It's right in the middle.
I played with a Dreamcast one time. I think it has these weird controllers. Let's take a look.
I remember you having like a GameCube or something, didn't you?
Yeah, I had a GameCube. I never had a Dreamcast. The Dreamcast is the thing I was talking about that has the memory card in it. Do you see the...
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah.
It's like, yeah, you put the memory card in.
It's in the controller, and
It's
you
in the
hook it up
controller.
to your friend's house.
Yeah. It's really cool. And you could do stuff with it. I think it would show like how much ammo you had or whatever on it.
That's so crazy.
I thought that was the coolest thing I had ever seen. I was like, I didn't like the games that much because I didn't recognize them.
Yeah, but that feature itself.
That feature is really cool though.
You know how cool it would be just to pop an SD card out of the Xbox and go over to Austin's house or something and just play the same Halo Spartan that you had or something. You don't have to create a
Yeah.
whole new one.
That would be. I mean, like the internet's making it really easy to do all that kind of stuff now. But I mean, back then that was really cool.
Groundbreaking.
I mean,
You think I think it's kind of groundbreaking. I mean,
because the GameCube you could bring your card
Your
around,
card.
but it didn't have a display on it, so it wasn't as cool.
yeah. Like I feel like that was so cool, and then like just like the VR, it's just kind of like there was no hype up to it. They just didn't keep going. The
Did you
VR
ever-
is just gonna keep going though.
Did you ever play? These are like the only games I ever played. Sonic Adventure, Crazy Taxi.
I never played that.
That's all I ever played. Those are the two
On the
games I played
Dreamcast?
on the Dreamcast. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember you having that GameCube, and it was like red too, or something.
I think I
You
might have
had
had an orange
something.
GameCube at one point, and then I think we got a silver one. I don't know. We swapped out the orange one for the silver one or something.
GameCube.
For the longest time, we just had the GameCube sitting in the shoe closet for some reason.
Really?
For no reason in particular.
Huh?
It was just in there. And then one day I discovered it, and I was like, why is this in here?
Mm-hmm.
And my parents were like, I don't know, we just weren't using it. And I was like, we weren't using it?
I woke up one morning, it was just gone.
Are you kidding me? It was in the shoe closet, and I found it there, and I was like,
That's messed up.
and I was so excited to play it, though. I was like, great. I love this. I remember my parents would take away my game system for like a month, and then at the end of the month, when I got it back, I'd be like, I don't really want it. And then like
Yeah.
2 days after that, I'd be addicted again. I'd be
Yeah.
like, this is the greatest thing in my entire life. Like, no wonder I played this.
I had, it might have been the original Xbox. I had the original Xbox for a long time, even after the 360 came out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why, I just did. And,
I think we still have some old consoles sitting around in here somewhere.
it just stopped working one day. I sent it off to go get it fixed. And it was gone for like a while. And then I remember just getting it back and be like, oh, yeah. Forgot about this.
Oh, yeah.
It was cool. And hooked it up and just kind of started playing. But then, I used to get bored of it. I used to go back outside and do what I was usually doing.
I love games, though. Games are so cool.